So let's talk about Native PHP, which is giving us as PHP developers the ability to build desktop applications with PHP. I think as developers, especially PHP developers, we have longed for this day to come, and it's nice to know that it's happening. And hopefully, in the next few years, maybe we'll even be able to somehow do this with mobile apps. Because if we can do that, that would be like one of the most holy grail things that could come about in our ecosystem. But this was just released this past week at Laracon. It is in an alpha version, so understand that in alpha versions of software, the likelihood of experiencing something or having something not work perfectly, there's a chance of that. And this is just the development process, but it's nice to know that, they're staying as bleeding edge as they can to where we can get the coverage, the adoption, and get people using this. Now, with it being alpha, you don't want to use this in any sort of production environment. And so what I've done is I've already created a Laravel application using Jetstream. Now, I chose Jetstream because I can use Livewire, because in my experimentation yesterday with Native PHP, I learned that Livewire is going to be the way you're going to want to do this. It just makes it super simple. So what we're going to go through now is getting Native PHP installed. But something I will say, that when you go to create a Native PHP application, understand that it requires a SQLite database. So what we got to do to do this, just to get us past this one little step, is you just go into your environment file, comment those things out, and just put SQLite, however people want to pronounce it. And then what we'll do is we'll go into this application, and we're going to say PHP artisan migrate, if I can type. And it's going to ask, it's going to say, well, one doesn't exist. Would you like to create it? Say yes. And let's see if we have that SQLite. Yeah, so we do have it, because there was times in my experimentation yesterday where it wouldn't generate this file, but it's working right now, which is good. If we go back here, we have our app, and I'm just going to, because note, you can have Native PHP and this running side by side, but I'm just going to have yarn dev running in the background just so I can maybe get some hot reloads. But with that said, let's get started. So if you go to nativephp.com, which is the website, you'll click on Getting Started. And of course, there's some stuff they tell you about, but for the sake of demonstration, we're going to get straight to the installation. So they have a Electron package that you got to pull in. So we'll pull that in. Give that a few seconds. And while it was going, so the requirements are PHP 8.1, Laravel 9 or higher, and you got to have NPM. So the next one we're going to run is PHP Artisan Native Install. This is the one that asks you if you want to pull in the NPM dependencies, and you'll say, in my case, we'll say yes. Now, the first time you ever do a Native PHP install and you run this, it's probably going to take a little bit of time. So be forewarned, but when it happens, just go make a cup of coffee, something. It needs a few minutes to do it. But when it's done, it's doing like it's doing right now. It's going to ask me if I want to run the development server, and we're going to say yes. And this should bring up a window here in a moment. And we'll give this just a few more seconds. Almost there. Come on. All right, so we have a window. Now, something I will also mention is that in my experimentation yesterday, I didn't get these warnings. So I'm not sure what that's about. For the sake of the demo, we're just going to close this out. So we have our desktop app. That's what we're looking at right here, right now. You'll see up top, if you look up here, we have a navigation or menus, right? Just like any other app would. So far, so good. Now, since this is just going to be a demonstration, I don't want us creating a bunch of views. So how about we do this? We're going to go, I'm going to take the layout, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy the app layout to guest, and all I'm going to take out here is just the reference to a header and some navigation, because some of these things require information from the user session, and then we'll snag a little copy from here because we're going to take this. And since we did the guest layout, we'll leave welcome in there, and let's see if we get anything. Okay, so normally we're supposed to get like a little hot reload, but doesn't seem to be doing it just yet, but that's okay. So all we got to do to kind of get to where we want to be, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to stop that server, and we'll have to start it back up. But it does do hot reloads. Now it's alpha, so sometimes it's going to happen, sometimes it won't. So now we're showing what would have been essentially like the dashboard, but this is in the welcome component. So to kind of get us going though, we're going to need to create a Livewire component. So we're going to go PHP artisan. What is it? Is it Livewire make or make Livewire? Yeah, make Livewire. I don't have much Livewire experience, so we're going to say a Windows plural. And the reason is because some of the names of what we're going to be using in native PHP might have some conflicts, and I just want to save us that little bit of hassle. So we're going to go here. Now we're going to have to go to our it's a Livewire. Yeah, here we go. So now, so we have welcome. And so welcome, what we want to do now is we want to say it's a Livewire. This would be Windows, I believe is the syntax for this. Yeah. So now we want to just, we want to add some stuff here. Let's create just a div. We'll make it rounded, give it a bunch of padding, give it a shadow. And now we're going to create a button. And so this button, when we click on it, we're going to want to open a window. And we're going to have to add the support for this. But let's just create ourselves a little button. So we'll make it black. Make it twice as wide on the padding as it is tall. Make it fully rounded, text white. And then we're going to say open window. And helps if I type right. And if I'm not mistaken, I think with Livewire, the buttons have to be in a div or something. I think that's right. Forgive me. I don't have much Livewire experience. But because of native PHP, I'm going to get to. So that's going to be fine. So we have our component, which is not, this is going to do anything because there's no Livewire method set to connect this to. So we're going to go to Livewire. We're going to go to Windows. And let's create one. Say we want to open the window. And as you notice, it's doing this on its own. It's doing that hot reload that I was talking about. So we're going to go to Windows, and we want to open a window. Well, I'll tell you that this first one won't work because there is already a window that's open. Okay, you have to sort of take this into account, the windows that are already open. So what we're going to do is, how about we just open one like this window open home. Actually, I thought it was going to be like name or something, but heck with it. We'll roll with it. We'll just call it settings. And then you want to bring in, I believe, what was it? There goes that hot reload again. I'm glad it's doing it though. So native Laravel facades window. And then it was native Laravel facades window. Okay, so we have this. And if everything goes right, when I click this button, we should get another window. And we do. Still getting that warning, but that's okay. So we have a window, which is cool. So now we're just going to start just messing around with windows, okay? So that was opening a window. So what we could do is, because we have it to where you can open it, right? How about we do this? We're going to add a close window. quit doing it. I'm going to have to, I guess for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to have to not hit save, because every time I hit save, it does it. It's okay. It's okay. It's no big deal. We'll just give this thing just a little bit of spacing. Now we're going to say close window. And the thing is that if we do this correctly, okay, so now if I open a window, we get the window, right? And if I click close, we close it. Pretty cool. So that's basic window operations. You can do a thing where you can resize a window. So let's do a resize. Actually, we won't do that part. We'll do the and note, since yeah, we're going to stick with the settings, and this will be a resize. All right. So now, no, obviously when we're clicking open, it's opening up just a copy of the page that we're on. And we did close. So now if we do a resize, we get a different size window. And we'll be able to adjust these size properties and things like that. You can say which window you want to retrieve. Like if it's the current one, you can give it like a page to go to. So we could say go to Native PHP website. Now we'll have to see if the window open part's going to be applicable, but we're just having a little fun here, just having a little stuff, little things to try, so we can get a little hands-on with it. Open Native PHP website. Helps if I can type. It's early. All right, so we click Open Native, and see, I think it's because we don't really have an alias. Now the thing is, if I say open, I have to give this thing an alias. We'll just call it this one settings as well. Now if we do it, there we go. So it opened up another window. So you know, so we have some basic operations. What did I do here? My because I have multiple windows, and it's acting like I only got one. Anyhow, so sorry if I keep hopping around here, but you can give the windows titles. You can control their height, their maximum, minimum height. You can do those. Here'll be a good one. Positioning of a window. We'll call this reposition. Yep, that's right. I saved it. It's probably going to be the only thing you'll probably grow with frustration is, you know, it's like you got to save your work as you go. But reposition. So what we're going to do now in this one, so we're going to do open. And see, I think this is why it was doing this thing a second ago. So if I say show all, there we go. That's the one it had open. Okay, so we're going to say open window, right? Now we want to reposition it. Why is it not repositioning? Reposition. Open settings position. How about I do 200 by 300? So reposition isn't necessarily doing what I would like for it to do. So if I open reposition, yeah. So like I said, some of these things, they're not going to be entirely maybe working yet. Forgive me for clearing my throat. But you're able to do resize. You make them focusable. You can make them move. You can make them to where they don't even have a shadow, which since that other one's not working, we'll just replace it. Now, I will tell you this, that you'll see here that I'm going to say no shadow, but I hate the way a window looks without a shadow. All right, y'all ready for this? Look at that. See how there's nothing behind it? How hideous is that? But it's a feature, so we can, I'm not complaining. Always on top. You can both change background colors. Okay, so that's Windows. Now, menu bars. I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't get this one to work yesterday, but you know what? Let's just run it. I don't. If it works, it works. I'll be happy. But this was something that I just could not get to work yesterday. What's the alias? It must have a different path or something. Native PHP facades menu bar. All right, so menu bar create, and then let's go back to, since this one wasn't working, we're going to say menu bar, but I don't think it's going to work because yeah, I don't know what the issue is here. And the other thing I'm noticing is when I click, where'd it go? We'll just fire it back up. Because I'd noticed that up here with the file menu, so you see how it says on the top left, Laravel About View? When I said menu bar, see how it says PHP Storm? So maybe there is something that is actually doing here. So maybe let's go a little further with this. I just want to add some stuff. We'll try this because it is doing something. So I need the menu. Is there a menu like this? I bet there is. Okay. Facades menu not found. But could you recommend it? Forgive me here. I know I'm probably going way too fast here, but yeah. So yeah, I don't know about the whole menu bar thing. I'm not going to spend much time on a menu bar. And given we're having those issues, I'm not going to mess with menu either. Dialogues. So, these are sort of cool. So let me just, and what we're going to do, I'm just going to take this out since it's not working. And we'll change this to say dialogue. And then we'll go up here. And then, did I change the name of it? Yeah, dialogue. So we're going to say dialogue. There we go. So this would be like if you wanted to open a menu to obtain a file. So you can do stuff like that. Of course, you can have different dialogues, such as one for selecting a file. This one you configure a button using, so when the user to confirm their selection. And I guess that when you click these, that there's some sort of response that you get back from it with hidden files. So yeah, so you get the idea about dialogues. Now the one that I want to hopefully get to work today is notifications. Now the hard part about this demonstration is I have a very large screen or monitor. So you'll see stuff here on the left, but the notifications on a Mac show up on the right. But I'm dying to see if this is going to work. Because I had to put a ticket in yesterday because the issue I ran into is that if you go to this pathway, damn, sorry about this relooking. It's not there. And the reason behind this is if you go to vendor, where is it? Native PHP, and you go to Laravel, and you go to the source folder, and you go to facades, there is not a notification facade. If you go up a level, there is a notification class. So you end up having to do this, and let's go find somebody had pointed out a thing on, see here, go issues. Where am I here? Yeah, not showing up. This time it's not synced with the documents. Okay, so they have responded. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do exactly like they say. Why are they? Okay, that's part of a solution. So what they're saying here is that you need to do like this stuff here. So what did they change? Title. But okay. Forget my just little frustrations. All right, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to go here, and we're going to say notify. Now I'm clicking notify, and we're getting there. We're getting there. But if I click this, so if you see here, it's doing the stuff that it should do, right? I'm not sure about the port numbers, but it's still not doing its thing. Yeah, client notification. So we're following it. That was one I was really hoping that we could get it to go. I'm just a little surprised why this comment is left. So make sure you are invoking this while within the electronic app, since you're using arson or just using via your resident thing to receive the note. Okay, and then of course make sure you allow notifications from Electron or even and are not silencing them. Okay, well I don't know. I don't have the answer. So let's see what else we got here. Global hotkeys. Oh, this is kind of cool. So you may define multiple global hotkeys, unlike hotkeys you may define applications via job. Okay, so it's saying basically you type something on a keyboard, and then you can get it to do something. So you know, like hotkeys, a lot of hotkeys are used to open menus. So that's one of the reasons why you might want to do those. And then you can do stuff with a clipboard, which is sort of cool. They do have stuff that talks about broadcasting from WebSockets, browser events. I'd say to probably let y'all do this. I know this demo's running a little bit long, but nonetheless, I mean, for an alpha version, I mean, it's not bad. There is what is it by Laravel that was doing it? It's because I'm not logged into Twitter, but Laravel was doing this thing where they're doing like this little bounty where if somebody built a desktop notifier for Laravel, you could win like $500. So if you want to get hands-on with the native today, I'd say do that. It's going to be hard to pull off with the notifications because because what this gentleman was saying in the ticket is that you have to fire it from within Electron, meaning the desktop app. Well, ideally, it should be that I should be able to do a cron job that goes and obtains the jobs from Layer Jobs and then trigger a notification from that. That's how it should be. So to see what the solution some of these people are going to come, it's going to be really interesting. But hopefully somebody can build something that can do that within this alpha state. I don't know if that'll be achievable, but we'll see. But nonetheless, Native PHP, it's a good start. I'm excited to see what people are going to do with this. I do have some plans on to build some Native PHP apps. One for the spool up service that I started a month or so back, and the other for some of the AI stuff that I'm doing. So there's some stuff that I do plan on doing. I'm just looking forward to when this thing reaches a more stable state before I really get into it. But if you've enjoyed this video, leave me a like, comment, share it, retweet it, the whole thing. It's fun to get back to making content, and I hope the rest of you enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, take care.